Hi, my name is Jasper.
Hi, my name is Nick.
Hey, I'm Rody.
And I'm Amy. In this documentary, we'll be discussing the benefits and drawbacks of urban farming. As time progresses, the population will grow, and we may not be able to meet the demands for food of the growing population.
One of the biggest problems with urban farming is the fact that people just simply don't know too much about it and how to successfully implement it. As technology opens up for opportunities for us, we must take advantage of it so that we can produce the most yield in the most efficient way possible.
So traditional farming has its perk with several undeniable advantages. Traditional farming is an agriculture practice that is based on treating the soil and plants with the proper fertilizer and any other form of product to promote the crop yield to support human population. It has been very long time and is constantly being improved as it was implemented and adopted during the arc, when knowledge about chemistry greatly increased.
So traditional farming has its perks with several undeniable advantages. Traditional farming is an agriculture practice that is based on treating soil and plants with proper fertilizer and other form of product to promote the yield of crop, and has been around for a very long time and is constantly being improved as it was implemented and adopted during the arc when knowledge about chemistry greatly increased. For example, traditional farming can take its form as type of extensive farming, and it can be used to farm very effectively. As a result, the field remains high quality and the soil maintaining a proper pH balance. In other words, extensive or traditional farming has very little negative impact on the environment, according to the study conducted by France in 2017. It is well understood and it is widely accepted by the general population.
That is why it may be difficult to implement new urban farming technologies efficiently and effectively. These concepts are brand new compared to traditional farming practices. The drawbacks and consequences are largely unknown. The biggest drawback as of now is the cost of implementing these new technologies in cities. We will go further in depth in this topic later on. By using new systems such as aquaponics, vertical farming, and rooftop farming, we can feasibly incorporate new technological farming systems into an urban setting. Technology will essentially allow us to produce a substantial amount of yield, and by implementing these convenient urban farming techniques, we will establish a new sustainable system that will be able to feed and accommodate the growing population. First, let's discuss hydroponics. Hydroponics is basically a way to eliminate the need for soil in a farming system. The classic example is a system with plant roots in a tank of fish. The fish are fed and then produce waste, which supplies the plant with nutrients that soil would otherwise provide. This approach to farming eliminates the need for pesticides, as it can easily be done indoors and pesticides would harm the fish. The same idea can also be executed using other sources of nutrients such as mineral water. Moreover, hydroponics allows gardeners to grow plants in environments that wouldn't otherwise support them, such as gardens with not great soil quality. Gardeners can grow plants out of season to get the full yield of year-round vegetables or flowers, as the proper control over the hydroponic system can eliminate problems such as lighting and temperature issues. According to the website published under Powerhouse Growers Corporation, hydroponic technology has some potential to exclude the problem of food shortage in the future caused by current methods of producing and distributing food. Ways that hydroponics can improve crop yields include growing food in a controlled environment, providing energy and water efficiency, and harvesting and distributing produce within the same urban area, shortening the supply chain. However, the cost of commercial-scale hydroponics use is a concern. The upfront cost of implementing a commercial-scale hydroponic system can be quite high and daunting. For example, an OPCOM farm grow wall, a popular hydroponic system sold on Amazon, costs $700 and contains 75 plant slots. One would need several of these to produce crops on a level that would compete with commercial farming. To put that into perspective, the average price per acre of farmland in Illinois was $10,000 in 2016.
Hydroponics can be used in many different ways. However, one of the most popular ways is to use vertical farming, meaning using vertical space to grow plants as opposed to just growing them from the ground.
One of the main purposes of developing urban farming is that it's environmentally sustainable to save land space. Vertical farming can help do just that. The idea of vertical farming is pretty self-explanatory, growing rows of food up and down instead of flat on the ground. This can look several different ways: shelves going all the way up to the ceilings in tall buildings, hanging lighter vegetables like salad greens, etc., etc. There are several benefits associated with the use of vertical farming practices. For example, according to some statistics done with the use of vertical farming is able to increase productivity by 4 to 6 times because crops can be grown in year-round climates. Moreover, when using controlled environment agriculture technology, vertical farming uses indoor farming techniques. The artificial control of temperature, light, and humidity enables the production of foods and medicine indoors as possible. In many ways, vertical farming is similar to greenhouses where metal reflectors and artificial lighting augment natural sunlight. Certain studies indicate that the world population will reach about 11 billion by the year 2100. Foreseeing this, many cities have already successfully expanded to vertical farming. We can see 5 different examples of successful vertical farming. For one, Belgian-based urban crops have implemented a system of vertical farming where they use 30 different towers to maintain roughly 126,000 crops. They use robots to handle the crops and designate them accordingly based on their current state. In Linköping, Sweden, they have the World Food Building, which is a 16-story plant scraper, as they call it. In Brooklyn, New York, a system known as Square Roots was launched, which is basically a vertical urban farm that uses shipping containers to allow young farmers to get a hands-on experience. They also use LED lights as water growth as opposed to soil. The world's largest vertical farm is in Newark, New Jersey, which also uses LED lights as well as a 69,000 square foot warehouse. This warehouse has the potential to produce 2 million pounds of lettuce annually without the need of soil or sunlight. Lastly, we have the Sky Greens vertical farm in Singapore. This vertical farm is basically a 3-story high greenhouse, capable of producing 5 to 10 times more unit area than normal farms. Clearly, vertical farming has been successfully implemented and has proved to be extremely effective.
And next, it is rooftop farming, and the idea is pretty simple. It is just use unused rooftop to grow crops.
Moreover, the crop yield is likely to significantly increase due to the enough supply of sunlight on the roof to trigger the dramatic growth rate of crops according to the study conducted by Cummins in 2018. It can also keep building cool in the summer as the plant absorbs most of the sun rays and insulate building in the winter. Okay. Furthermore, another benefit associated with use of rooftop farming practice to enhance crop yield is that, first of all, green roof gardening methods reduce heat flux through the roof, and there will be less energy of cooling or heating can lead for some cost saving in some homes. Shading the outer surface of the building envelope has been shown to be more effective than internal insulation. Evaluating the cost of running rooftops in the city depends on a variety of factors, including which city is being discussed. One concern about the drawbacks of rooftop farming is the cost of renting space in cities. In big cities like Chicago, Los Angeles, or New York, property is quite expensive, but people would not be purchasing a whole building just for rooftop farming. Now, let's talk about the average price of farmable land in Illinois. One study shows that farmland prices are continuously dropping in Illinois.
These are just a few of the methods to practice urban farming. There's definitely a lot more that you can research on your own.
Clearly, technology is advancing, and innovative people are trying out all kinds of ideas to make sure we can grow enough food to feed the planet in a sustainable way.